Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Naomi, and today I want to talk to you about how you can make your stays at hotels a little bit more green and a little bit more environmentally friendly or environmentally conscious. Because, it's summertime, so maybe you are staying in hotels more often, or, maybe it's not summer. Maybe you're watching this video and it's the winter and you are visiting family for the holidays, or, maybe you just travel a lot and you want to figure out ways that you can be a little bit more environmentally conscious even when you're staying in a hotel. And as you might know, staying in a hotel is not always the most environmentally friendly activity that one can do. Now, before we dive into what my top tips are and the things that I do with my family when we have to stay in hotels, which admittedly is not often because I have 2 kids and another one who is shortly to arrive. So, staying in hotels is not something that we do too often, but when we do, these are the things we do. But before I dive into that, I do want to say that there are hotels that are really doing a phenomenal job, or at least trying to do a great job of making, the world a greener and, more sustainable place. And so they might have things in place where they say, oh, well, we only do things on these days. And, they might have, certain procedures that make things a little bit more green in general. But these are the things that you can do if you're not staying in one of those hotels, or even if you are staying in one of those hotels and they don't really give you all the choices, you're not entirely sure what to do. So without any further ado, these are my top tips, the things that I do with my family when we do have to stay in hotels when we are on the road. So my number one tip, absolute number one tip, is to use your do not disturb sign for your door. Okay, so every hotel has this, and this is the easiest way to make sure that you are not, having your sheets washed every single day, having your towels washed every single day. And listen, y'all, I know how nice it is to have fresh sheets every single day. It is so nice. It is so amazing. In some ways, it's almost like the best thing about going to a hotel. The problem is that it's kind of unnecessary. Unless your kid pukes in the bed or, there's some sort of other unfortunate accident, there's really no reason to wash your sheets every single day that you're staying in a hotel. Literally no reason. Same with the towels. There's no reason to wash those every single day. There's no reason to empty your trash every single day, right? So the easiest way to make sure that housekeeping doesn't come in and do all of those things that are a little bit more stressful for the environment is to use that do not disturb sign, put it on your door, leave it there the entire time that you're there, and then once you leave, everything will be cleaned, everything will be taken out, and it doesn't overuse resources like water, resources like electricity, things that power, the laundering of all of those things you don't really need. So number one, use that do not disturb sign. Use it the entire time that you are on vacation, and make sure that you are using the same sheets and the same towels the whole time. Pretty basic, okay? Number two is related to your thermostats. Number 2 is to keep your thermostat at a more reasonable temperature. Okay, so if you have ever been to a hotel anywhere in the world, what you've probably discovered when you walk in to the door very first time is that it feels like you're walking into a freezer. Right? It feels like you're walking into deep freeze, all of the things that are being stored in that freezer is your hotel room, which actually sounded kind of creepy, and I didn't mean it that way, but that's not the point. Okay, so it's, first of all, the room is kept far cooler than it really needs to be. It's kept way cooler than your body temperature really needs it to be, no matter where you are traveling. So even if you're traveling to somewhere really tropical, right, somewhere really beautiful, it doesn't need to be 68 degrees in your hotel room, especially if that's 20 or 30 degrees different from what it is outside. Right? So if your thermostat in the hotel room is set really, really low, just jack it up a little bit, right? And at the very least, when you leave the room, turn it off, right? It'll stay pretty cool for most of the time that you're gone. And when you come back in, you can kick it back up again, no problem, right? You can keep it off the entire time you're there if you want, but really, if you keep it at a more reasonable temperature, not only will your body feel better, but also you're going to be doing Mama Earth a big favor, because all of that AC just drains a lot of electricity. So that is number 2. Okay, number three is to refuse those bottled waters. So what I've noticed in the past couple of years is that every time I go to a hotel, they offer me complimentary bottled water. I don't need bottled water, right? Like, I can just fill it up at the water fountain. A lot of hotels now have those really cool bottle stations where you can fill up your bottle. You just sort of stick it underneath, the spigot, and you just stand it up, and it's really great. Refuse the bottled water. And in fact, you could take it a step further and say to the hotel, listen, please don't offer bottled water, right? If you're going to do anything, like, offer a pitcher, in the room, which they do, but maybe even a bigger pitcher, not just for ice, but for water, so that we can fill up water in our rooms without having to use plastic. That would be a really useful thing. You could write other suggestions like, hey, I don't have my own water bottle. Can you sell stainless steel containers or glass containers? Now, that's definitely taking it a big step further, but if you are somebody who travels a lot and stays in hotels a lot, and you have that kind of pull, like if you have one of those like fancy platinum situations with the hotel, like, you can put your 2 cents in and they will very likely take your suggestion. So refuse the bottled water and refill your own. So bring your own water bottle and ditch the plastic. That's number 3. Now, number 4 kind of goes along with that, and that's BYOS. Bring your own snacks. So similar to bring your own bottle, but bring your own snacks, because, hotels have vending machines, and they have, little, I can't even think of what they're called in the lobby, but they have like these little places in the lobby where you can just like fill up on snacks, which are basically like single serving snacks, which is a whole lot of packaging that you really don't need to be using, right? You don't need to be using that every single time. So bring your own snacks. Ideally, particularly if you're in a place that has a refrigerator and you're staying for a few days, you can stock up on fresh fruit and have the fruit in the fridge. If it's something that needs to be saved, you can have bananas on the counter. You can, get bagels. You can do all kinds of things to make sure that you are not, just getting things from a vending machine or getting things from, that little snack bar near, in the lobby. Because again, those are things that add up, right? And it's really easy on vacation to rely on those single serving items, but it is also a massive amount of waste that you are making. So please make sure to bring your own snacks, especially if you have your own refrigerator in the room, just to cut down on your waste. That's number 4. Okay, number 5. All right, number 5 is kind of a simple one, and it's to use only one trash can, because your hotel room will literally have like 20 trash cans. Okay, maybe just 4. But seriously, like, there's one in the bathroom, there's one in the kitchen area, there's one in the bedroom, there's one often like next to the desk. There are 4 trash cans, and even usually recycling. Okay, so hear me out. If you put trash in every single trash can is lined with a plastic liner. Okay, if every single trash can is lined with a plastic liner, what that means is every single trash can that plastic liner is going to be lifted, put into a bigger trash can with a plastic liner, and then thrown away. That's kind of a drag, right? Like, that's 4 trash cans with 4 plastic liners that are going to be thrown away. So instead, consolidate all of your trash, like make one trash can the trash can that you use for your entire hotel stay, and that's just one plastic liner that is going to be trashed, right? So that's something to keep in mind. Another thing to keep in mind is recycling. If there's no designated recycling bin, or if you're not really sure what the recycling situation is at the hotel, you can haul out your own recycling. If you have paper or glass, especially if you're going to, other places for food, like if you're going to your local supermarket to stock up on food, you can just bring the recycling there. They usually have recycling stations there, rather than throwing things like glass or recyclable plastic, or cans or whatever else, or paper that you might be recycling into the actual trash. See if you can haul it out. That's sort of like that's 5B kind of, right? That's sort of an additional bonus one to the 5th one, because the truth is that, it's super easy to just toss those things all in the trash can, but the truth of the matter is, like, if it can be recycled, be proactive and haul out your own recycling. It's not that difficult. It's really simple. I promise that you can find really easy places to make sure that you're recycling. So those are my top 5 tips. Those are the things that I do when I am traveling with my family in hotels. We make sure to do all of those things every single time so that when we travel, we do our best to travel a little bit more green, to travel a little bit more with a little bit more consciousness around, how we are taking care of the planet, and in a way that just feels a little bit more responsible. So I hope those were useful. If you have others, please leave them in the comments below. I would love to hear them because I'm always inspired to hear your suggestions about ways that we can take better care of this planet. So as always, thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to chatting with you again soon. And if you haven't yet subscribed and you are really liking these conversations, make sure to subscribe in the bottom right corner so that you get these delivered to your inbox every single week. All right, until next time. Bye.